let's move on to what size you can do your zine. Not going to put up any creative constraints. You make the rules, so we'll just try to go with whatever you ask. So here we've got a selection of sizes. We'll talk through them. So you can choose any size from A6 portrait up to A4 portrait or even A4 landscape. You can increase to A3 portrait, but there is a definite price point cut off at A4. Anything larger than that is significantly more expensive because we have to print it onto one of our B2 presses. So unless you're intending to go for something oversized, we'll stick here to discussing possibilities that fall between A6 and A4. So you can go for any bespoke size for no extra cost. If you want to trim a centimetre off a standard A size, that's absolutely fine. You just prepare your artwork for that new size and we'll print it. So here we'll put an A4 publication in the background and we'll overlay it with a few other bespoke sizes so you can see what really works. Some captivating zines here, compelling sizes rather than just A4. Orange zine is A6. How to Have Fun is 240 by 170. The Northwest is B5, which is 250 by 176. Acid Reflux is A5, and Noun Element to consider as a comparison is A4. So for reference, A6 is 148 millimeters high by 105 millimeters wide. A4 is 297 millimeters high by 210 millimeters wide. Any bespoke size between A6 and A4 for no extra cost. So the cut-offs in terms of pricing are A6 to A5, that's one price bracket. And then anything larger than A5 up to A4, that's the next price bracket. And then again, there's a big jump up, larger than A4 up to and including A3 portrait. However, on larger print runs, where we might litho print your work, so for 700 copies or more, then 240 high by 170 millimeters wide is a very convenient and cost-effective size that falls between A5 and A4, so that's also a good size to aim for. On digital print runs, any size between A5 and A4 is the same price. On litho, this is a nice cost-effective size as well. A5 is a definite go-to size for degree show catalogues, however. A large percentage of catalogues are A5, and that's simply because it's large enough to include students' work at a decent size, and it's also small enough to fit in your visitors' pockets when they leave the show. So A5 is 210 millimeters high by 148 millimeters wide. Here we've got A5 portrait and A5 landscape. Bespoke size, small wire stitched booklet of 148 by 148 square. And it forms a really compact little booklet. Obviously the size of the page goes some way to dictating the amount of content you can have on there. Architecture courses in particular have quite fine, intricate drawings, and maybe that lends itself better to A4, where there's more room on the page to have the drawings at a larger size without having to cram them into a smaller page size, and the intricacy of the drawings then not being quite as impactful. A5 landscape is a really nice size that works well for both portrait and landscape images. Maybe this is the actual winning formula. Right hand page for an image, well laid out text on the left hand side, use of colour on the name, it's compact, appropriate size for text. Don't be scared with including white space on your work. The text doesn't have to be kind of huge in the reader's face to actually have an impact. And the white space does work really well. So that's the sizing, so any size from A6 up to A4, any bespoke size in between. A5 is your go-to. That's what you'll find that a large percentage of Degree Show catalogues are A5. But if there's something in particular that you want, ping us an email and we can send over a quote for it. We try to be as flexible as possible. We're not going to tell you what size your catalogue should be. If there's something in particular that you like, then I'm sure we can print it. We appreciate there's a good chance you'll work into a budget, so you may have to go for one of the smaller sizes to be able to fit within that budget. If there is a specific price point you need us to hit, then maybe get in touch and say, look, we've got a budget of X amount and we really want to print this many copies, and then we can reverse engineer it from there and we can say, okay, well in that case you can have this many number of pages. Or maybe you want to say, we've got a budget of this amount and we really need this number of pages for the amount of students, and then we can tell you exactly how many copies you'll be able to print for within your budget. There's a couple of ways to do it. We'd rather print your catalogue than not print it, so let us know what you're working towards in terms of costs and we can work it back from there. Let's look at some bespoke sizes then. So the book that we've got at the back here for Birmingham, the blue one, is A4, and the Central St Martin's one at the front is A5. So the other three catalogues between are bespoke sizes. So the Central St Martin's is A5. Coventry one is 220 high by 170 wide. Loughborough is 240 high by 170 wide. Tonic for UWE is 270 high by 210 wide, so the same width as A4. And the Birmingham one at the back, 297 by 210. So like we said, once you get larger than A5, you can have any bespoke size up to and including A4 for the same price. If you are going to go for a longer print run, and we're going to litho print your book, so litho printing works out more cost effective once you go over 700 copies. That's where our litho presses are going to be cheaper than our digital presses. So 700 copies or more, the 240 by 170 size is a really convenient size between A5 and A4. The size that we buy our sheets from the paper mill, this fits really, really neatly onto them. So we can do a really good price on this size. But if you're going for under 700 copies, we'll print them digitally, and any size between A5 and A4 will be the same price. If you also jump on the paper sizes page on our website, you can actually see the physical print sizes of some of your favourite magazines. So we've got Monocle on there, we've got Little White Lies, we've got So Young, which we've been printing since inception, Creative Review. You can get an idea of what sizes the famous publications go for, and then you can copy that for your new publication. Some are more cost effective to print than others, but that's the same with anything. But if there's something on there that you like, ping us an email. Again, there are some sizes between A5 and A4, so you can print those for the same price as A4, no problem at all.